How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of collab action from my boys at Hop Butcher and Weldworks Brewing. This is the Silvercat. It's a Amarillo, Vic Secret, and Samba hopped Double India Pale Ale. Yeah, look at that label. It's just a clear label on a nice silver can. We have on the back, per tasting notes that Hop Butcher typically does, they say juicy tropical, candied orange, and pleasant pine. Let's dive in that sucker. This box, I botched that. This box landed just before the old Xmas holidays, so I got a bit of Hop Butcher to run through, which does not suck. Label-wise, listen, I made no secret that I'm a fan of Hop Butcher's labels. This isn't going to be one of their kind of more amazing Jetsa level artistic things, but something about simplicity of just the silver can and the lettering does it for me. So I'm a fan. Let's put it that way. That is Doc. Now, when you talk about them calling out Pleasant Pine on the back, you start to get a little bit of kind of West Coast vibe. You start to think, okay, maybe a little bit of West Coastiness, maybe a little bit of resininess, maybe a little bit of pininess. The color kind of indicates that. When you look at that beer, you expect it to be a little bit richer, a little bit fuller, a little bit more sweet, but also a little bit more West Coast. Because a lot of these New England style IPAs, a lot of the stuff that Hop Butcher and Weldworks does do, tends to come off that really kind of rich, kind of not clear, but lighter orangey color. It's a little bit more dense, a little bit more tough. We'll see what's what. Let's get a nose on her. I mean, it's sweet. That's like bubblegum candy, bubblegum rich kind of sweetness. I mean, there's a rich kind of like under, how do I put it this way? It's like, it's not juicy fruit, but it's not like Hubba Bubba, but then there's this big fruit component, so it is like juicy fruit, but then there's like this jam component. It's like if jam had a baby with like juicy fruit, that kind of thing going on. Yeah, I mean, it does have that kind of powdered bubblegum, juicy fruit, tropical fruit leaning portion of the show there that kind of makes me just want to think of kind of rich, kind of bubblegummy deliciousness. Definitely going to come off sweet. I don't see how this doesn't come off sweet. There could be a nice soft bittering behind it. I hope there is. They talked about a pleasant pine in there. Not really getting much of that in the nose. It's more just that bubblegum, hubba bubba kind of, I don't want to say apricot. It's just the regular, just generic kind of stone fruity kind of, with a little bit of kind of tropical fruit, kind of jammy, bubblegummy sweetness. Let's see what you got. Cheers. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I see what you're laying down there. That's pretty fucking cool, actually. You get almost to a T on the initial taste, like the first taste. You're like, okay, there it is. There's my bubblegum jamminess. All day. Done and done. It immediately explodes with this resinous, piney characteristic. They talked about pleasant pine. You're not doing yourself a service here. It's kind of aggressive. Each sip, a little bit less. I should say one more sip. Let me judge on that. So the first sip was just bang, hit you like a brick. The second one wasn't as aggressive. Third one, a little bit less. So it's not like it's going to ride and hit you with each taste. But you get that bubblegum portion of the show. But it's followed. I wouldn't even go pleasant pine here. I would. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I would definitely go like pleasant pine or just pine in general. But there's an added component to it. And it's that eucalyptusy minty thing that I talk about every now and then. When I say eucalyptus minty, it sucks. Because I need to really come up with a better descriptor for it. Because it isn't eucalyptus or mint. It's more of that vibe you get from eucalyptus and mint, that effervescence, that kind of back of the nostrils feeling you get from those. So take that pine portion of the show and give it that kind of Hall's Vapor Rub kind of thing going in the back of your nose. That's where the pine kind of plays. So it plays in a couple different directions on your palate, because you actually get that bittering from the pine. You get this little sweet portion from the pine too, but then you get that kind of Hall's Mentholyptus kind of Vicks Vapor Rub thing. Kind of, it feels like it's kind of permeating the back of your nostrils from inside your throat out into the back. and just plays a cool thing, because then when you top it, or I should say pair it, because it's not like it's above or below, that bubblegummy Jamie portion, it just ends up being a cool beer. Ends up being a cool beer. Mouth feels nice. The grand scheme of things, I think somebody might actually say this is like a little bit overcarbonated, but I like it. I like the juxtaposition between a lot of those rich, dense flavors. And you have a little bit of sprightly carbonation. Works out nice. Bittering rides about, a third of the way in, all the way to the end, and kind of lingers there. Makes you want to go back for a little bit more. Kind of replaces that soft dryness I like so much in a lot of beers. When you get this nice soft dryness, you want to go back for more of this bittering is kind of getting you there. So that's kind of where this West Coast comes into play. This is a weird one, because I believe it was Weldworks that did one of my favorite kind of new school, kind of, I would say, West Coast hazy. It was a lot of West Coast influence with New England style haziness. This is like a weird kind of amalgamation of everybody's West Coast influence. So you're taking New England style influence. So you're taking your Weldworks, kind of that West Coast. I forget the name of the beer again. It's going to piss me off because I'm not going to be able to remember it. But that beer I had from them that tasted like a West Coast IPA given that New England style treatment. Then you have Hop Butcher that's done some Midwest stuff that has New England style treatment. And there's definitely just a base kind of New England vibe to it. So you get like all three disciplines of what you're normally used to, kind of compacted into a beer that I don't think is going to be everybody's cup of tea. But in the grand scheme of things, I think it's going to be a really interesting, well done, fun, hop forward beer. And I think that's what beer is all about. I know that's kind of a broken record when it comes to me and Hop Butcher. Just a hop fuck duggery, beer fuck duggery. Some of my favorite stuff. So, yeah. Again, I mean, broken record again. It might not be for everybody, but it's for me. I mean, that's the thing. I like unique New York in a good way. There's unique that sucks because someone's just trying to be weird for the sake of being weird. Then there's unique that you might not hit a home run with each swing, but at least you're making cool shit. That's it. Silvercoat. Look at that. I think it's Silver Chair, which is a shitty teen band when I was in high school. So there you go. Another review in the books. Let's talk about it. Is it one of the better double IPAs that I've had as of late? Yeah. I mean, it's in the conversation. It's not King Shit or Fuck Mountain or Mount Rushmore stuff, but if you kind of pigeonhole it into the unique kind of double IPAs or new school hazies, one of the more interesting ones I've had as of late. It's probably up towards the top quite a bit. Value and availability. Hop Butcher C's distro goes quick. Take that for what it's worth and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you just like West Coast IPAs, you like New England style IPAs, you like Midwest IPAs, and you want them all in one fell swoop, that'd be your boy. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out in the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out in the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little Hop Butcher for the world right now. And a little bit of World Works too. We'll see you next time. Cheers.